the show that searches for entertainment that does not suck. I'm Iyaz Akhtar.
I'm JB.
And today, we're going to fight. That's right. So if you had bad childhoods...
So like old-timey boxing?
Well, more like verbal fisticuffs.
Verbal fisticuffs.
We can do regular fisticuffs when we meet again.
Okay.
In a couple of weeks or months. We have to determine that too. We'll let you vote on that. We'll let you vote on when we get to hang out again. We're not going to respect the vote, but we'll let you vote. Why be nice now? Yes, but so if you have issues with your parents fighting and you don't like people yelling or swearing at each other, don't listen to this episode because I'm gonna zealously represent my point. I'm going to fight dirty, and Rob will do the same.
Yes, absolutely.
And
bring it.
Or JB, who's known as JB, just in case.
Juice Bob.
Yes, Juice Bob. That's right.
Juice Bob.
Juice Pop. That's you. That's your new nickname, Juice Pop. I don't even know what that means. Today, we are going to compare two properties, and we will determine what is the better property based on criteria. I can't say that word, criteria.
Criteria.
Things that we're making up right now. The Porky the Pig method. Criteria. I can say criteria. What happened there? Today, we are placing Jessica Jones versus the Brady Bunch. Rob, which side do you want?
I can battle either side of that equation.
Okay. Then I will
do most of the work here, so you choose what you would like to battle.
Well, let's see. I'm going to make it easy on me. I'm going to take the Brady Bunch as superior, clearly.
Understood. Yes.
And I will let you make the first argument why you think Jessica Jones is better than the Brady Bunch, which it clearly is not.
Okay, better villain.
Alice. Alice is completely the better villain.
No way.
No, here's the thing. So,
first of all, if there's a villain, it's Sam, the butcher. You never frickin' see the guy.
You do see Sam the butcher. See, that's the thing.
Just not very often.
He's not. Wait, now you're mixing up like Inspector Gadget. You're so far off. You think he's Dr. Claw. He's not Dr. Claw. Okay, Sam the butcher is a meat monger. All right, meat mongers built so many cities and are so responsible for people enjoying their meats. If there's anybody who's actually the bad guy, it is definitely Alice, because she's kind of the snitch. She tries to keep it together, but she causes conflicts even when she doesn't want to. Unlike that purple man in Jessica Jones, who is clearly the bad guy, whose name escapes me, who played Doctor Who, so clearly he can't be that bad a guy. So he wasn't that bad a guy. So if you're saying for the better villain, Alice is a much better villain than Purple Man. What is his name in that show?
Geez, I don't remember. I know the actor's name is David Tennant.
I will look that up while you argue against Alice being a better villain than... He's called Purple Man, I believe, in the comic book.
Yeah. How can you say that Alice is a villain? She practically holds that family together. I actually think you're wrong there in saying that she's the villain, because she's actually probably the glue that holds the Brady Bunch together. But that being aside, can she make people do what she wants just by telling them to do it? No.
Sort of. She controls the food, because Carol doesn't do shit. She controls the meat.
Well, Carol controls some meat, but that's beside the point. Mm-hmm. Beside the point.
It's true. Kilgrave. Kilgrave is the name.
Kilgrave was the name of the guy. We're going to have to agree to disagree on the villain. So, a better hero. Who do you got?
Okay, well, you got to go with Johnny Bravo, Greg Brady. I mean, that guy's a hero, an American hero, okay? This guy, he always is super responsible. Always trying to make sure that his stepmom is taken care of off screen in one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you got that going for him. You have this thing where he is always thinking about moving ahead, right? Like he moves to the attic, he puts up beads, he's thinking about the culture of the times, and he's trying to determine whether he can survive in a family that's mixed. It's such a difficult part to be in because he's essentially looked to as a leader of the boys. And he's got a counterpart on the girl's side. But Marsha's so wrapped into her own head, she's clearly not a leader. So the leader, the main character, the hero, who goes by the other name of Johnny Bravo, so good, such that it inspired a cartoon show called Johnny Bravo. Jessica Jones can't say that.
He does have a good alter ego. And he doesn't have any superpowers, though. But he gets by without them. I'll give you that. Mm-hmm. I'll give you that. That, you know, he has that. But as far as the character goes, he doesn't have the, I don't want to say dark side, but the dark past that Jessica has and the demons that she has to get over. So as far as a character development goes, you know, Johnny Bravo hasn't quite lived yet. Granted, he's young. He has some time to grow, you know. But
yeah, but what you're talking about is not the characteristics of a hero. You're talking about characteristics of a person who is not a hero.
I'm just saying a better character of hero.
Well, she's not a hero at all. That's the thing. You know, Jessica Jones has a really bad past.
She's technically the anti-hero, but she is the center point hero of the show who defeats the villain.
Trish is the hero of the show. I don't care if they call it Jessica Jones. Trish is the hero of that show. She stays good and narrow the whole time, straight and narrow the whole time. Always trying for good. Not Jessica Jones, who's an alcoholic. She is not. Look, if you want to say she's a complex character, that's fine. But Johnny Bravo clearly more complex because he has an alter ego. Jessica Jones doesn't even have an alter ego. How lazy
she tried
is that?
It didn't work well for her.
Well, see, that's another thing about Jessica Jones that's not a really good thing. This show is so unbelievably incomplete. They don't explain anything to you. You got to put everything together on your own. The Brady Bunch. Look, in the fucking title sequence, they explain the entire premise. Like that. Okay, there was like a guy, and he met a lady, and they had like these families, and they put it together. Now, there's no mention of the dog. There's no mention of Alice. There's no mention of the butcher. But that is explained every episode because it's super important to inform the audience. So Jessica Jones, as a program, as a series, by the way, having the luxury of having all their episodes at one time on Netflix, still being super lazy and explaining every fucking episode what's going on, just a shit show.
Now, there are parts of the Brady household that we don't see. It's a very big house you see from the outside. We only see a few select rooms. I'd like to know what's going on in the basement. I'd like to know, you know, what was in the attic before we changed it into Johnny Bravo's bedroom. You know, we do see, you know, the parents' bedroom. Granted that, we have kids' bathroom, but there's definitely some shady areas of that house. I want to know what's going on. We don't know everything. There is not full transparency there.
I think you're right about that. There is some serious issues when it comes to the fact that all three boys live in one room, all three girls live in another room. It's a big-ass house. What the hell's up with that? Why does Mike have a den and an office?
Exactly.
The basement I'll put aside, because in California, you don't necessarily always have basements. I assume they live in California because it's always pretty there. They also were far ahead, while it came to the design, far ahead when it came to the AstroTurf lawn. California they have a water issue. These artificial lawns, way ahead of their time.
I think that's because, you know, Mike was an architect. He was on the cutting edge of that kind of stuff.
That's right. So you got that. Let's see what else makes Brady Bunch a more superior show. It spawned 2 movies, or multiple movies. If you think about the original television specials, Going to Hawaii with Curses, Little Tiki Gods, then the 90s remake, launching Gary Cole into the stratosphere. What show has been that helpful? I mean, like Kristen Ritter. Nobody's going to see Kristen Ritter in a movie. Marvel's never going to bring those characters from like the TV show to a movie. You're never going to see that. But not only did Gary Cole make a living being Robert Reed playing Mr. Brady, but freaking Christopher Barnes, who plays Greg Brady, that dude played Spider-Man in the 90s cartoon, making Brady Bunch so much more important. And by the way, forget who Gary Cole is. He plays the boss in Office Space. So he's in Lumberg. There is so much greatness. It fixed Shelley Long's career because God knows she fucked that up. Christine Taylor becomes like a legend. They try to make Jan Brady cool. Now, granted, nobody can make Jan Brady cool, the character, but they did a decent job. That movie, that show was so good that it's had ripples through time and space to build a Spider-Man, a Lumberg, and a Mrs. Ben Stiller.
Well, Jessica Jones is in its infancy comparatively. It's already spawned Luke Cage from it. which is going to
No, Spawn.
in turn.
Wait, no, Spawn is not on this one. Spawn is an.
No. Created the Luke Cage show, which is coming, which is then going to create the Iron Fist show, which is coming.
Iron Fist sounds a little dirty.
I understand. Hopefully, they can't change the name, but maybe he won't go by Iron Fist.
You can't go, but you can't shorten it either. You can't be like he's Iron or he's Fist. You can't.
Fist. Oh, Fist is even worse.
It can't be I Fist like I dot.
Yeah. We talked in a previous show about explaining fisting, and you don't want to have to do that.
Yes, I'm anti-explaining fisting to 5-year-olds. For those of you who are wondering what the quote was, but back to Iron Fist, who is not necessarily important in this. Luke Cage being the hellspawn of Jessica Jones in some way.
Yes, but there could be ripples. Is what I'm saying is it's too early to tell whether the ripples will be created from this show.
Problem with Jessica Jones. References a whole bunch of shit that doesn't happen in the show. You have a crossover character with Rosario Dawson's character, who brings the show down, by the way, I will say. You bring in, here comes Night Nurse. She's all Night Nurse. Oh, by the way, we're going to make references to this stuff that we can never show you. Oh, well, if we had the rights, we'd show you. You have to watch, how many hours of Marvel stuff do you have to watch to understand everything that's referenced in Jessica Jones? It's not self-contained. The Brady Bunch is super self-contained. Not only is it contained in the story in the 22 minutes, like I said, in the intro video, every little head is contained in a blue box. Very important that you contain the heads in blue boxes. Did not happen in Jessica Jones. And that's a problem.
Did not.
They didn't contain the heads.
Yes. Jessica Jones has hotter women. And you can say Marsha all you want, but that's just Marsha. We got the cougar in, Miss Brady, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same.
It's like you're going to make me argue this one. This is going to be good. All right.
I am, just because I want to hear you
Let's
say
do it. Okay.
Let's do it.
So, in one of the show, The Bradys, because it was another spinoff in the 90s, or I guess it was a sequel in the 90s, like Full House. The Bradys was a much more serious version of the Brady Bunch. So there I can actually say who was hot and who was not. The girls did get hotter because they replaced Cindy with the girl whose name escapes me. Something Runyon, I think her name was. She played the girlfriend in Charles in Charge. She was super hot. She played Gwendolyn. So she was pretty hot. Then you had Marcia, who basically messed up. She's like a human Barbie. That's 2 right there. Now, you had Trish and you had Jessica Jones. That's 2. And I'm kind of...
Rosario Dawson?
She's a guest star.
She was on 3 to 4 episodes. That's a what? Almost 25%.
Okay, that is true. Now, I have to go back and watch a lot of the Bradys to find out if there were other people who showed up. I'm trying to think, because they were children at a certain point, so there's no way in hell I'm going to make that argument. Because that is insane. Even if I was a little kid then, I'm like, oh, she was cute. It doesn't still hold true.
No, you can't say that stuff.
So let me think here. Carol Brady in the day, I mean...
She was, yeah.
She had a lot of things going on, and everyone knows the character. Let's talk about the character being hot. If you're talking about the actresses being hot, that's a harder thing to deal with. Let's talk about the characters here. I'm going to change the question here. The character of Carol's way hotter because she's not doing anything all day. She's not prepping food. She's not taking care of kids. What do you think she's getting good at all day? Jessica Jones is drunk off her ass all the time, beating up people. Yeah, she gets a little riled up and stuff, but she's kind of busy, Mm-hmm. Carol's not Brady. She's not Brady. She's not busy. She is Brady. She's busy with Brady is what I'm saying.
So what you're saying is Carol was spending her time doing everything she could to become the perfect wife.
Yes.
In the carnal sense for Mike.
Potentially. I mean, in the Bradys, they are very fit. They have exercise bikes. They do yoga. The fact that Robert Reed had no interest in women apparently didn't matter. That's actually pretty impressive. Think about that. Okay? Carol Brady, so good.
She switched him?
She kept him on that side. That doesn't make sense. This one I have to cede. There's no way.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
that one, like, I would love to argue that one to death, but I can't. That one's a hard one. Okay. Let me think here. Crossovers. Too many crossovers. Like you just said, Rosario Dawson from another show. And I have to follow freaking Luke Cage. There was no spin-off Sam the Butcher. No spin-off Tiger the Wonder Dog. What the fuck happened to Tiger anyway?
What happened to Tiger?
There's no Cindy, girl replaced by Runyon? What is her name? Something Runyon.
Kristen Runyon.
It's something like that. But yeah, there was none of that. So you were stuck. If you wanted to watch the Bradys, you watch the Bradys, you watch the Bradys. The end. But now you have to watch all of these other hours. I'm not even talking about the backstory. I'm talking about if you still want to watch Jessica Jones, you have to watch this other stuff because you know it's going to relate back.
It's 13 episodes, and maybe 13 episodes of another show. There was 7 seasons of the Brady Bunch?
7 seasons of the Brady Bunch, but they're 22 minutes, and they're brain dead easy to follow. Now, you don't have that thing going on with Jessica Jones. They're over 40 minutes long. Some of them are closer to 50 minutes, and they're really fucking long without commercials. The other show was maybe 22 minutes with not with ads. 30 minutes with ads.
30 minutes with ads, 22 with ads.
22 without. And
so
again,
every 2 episodes equaled 1, lengthwise.
In complexity, it's probably like 12-1 Brady's to Jessica Jones, okay? If you want, I can't follow the storyline, you'd have to watch a whole fucking season of the Brady Bunch. And even then, arguably, you can follow what's going on. Episodes of Jessica Jones.
Maybe I like the more complex character development from a Jessica Jones that you're not getting with the Brady Bunch.
This is not about our subjective views here. This is about what is excellent, what is a better show. And seriously, Jessica Jones, 13. You just said it yourself. 13 episodes. How good could that be? A show that lasted throughout all kinds of things, including the Vietnam War. The world is fighting. The U.S. is mired in this mess that they lose. And to cheer up the nation, the Brady Bunch is on TV. Now, we're in a world mired with shit. And what does Jessica Jones show you? More shit.
I concede. You win. When you start pulling in the Vietnam War and the shitty world, you know what? You win.
Jessica Jones has its laughs, but it's not an uplifting show.
No, it is not at all. In fact, it is pretty bleak.
Well, actually, by the end, it does wrap up pretty nicely.
It wraps up nicely, but you cannot say it's a happy show.
No, it's not.
There is no way I can't fight that it is not a happy show.
There are certain words that are yelled really loudly. And when you live in an apartment and hear Jessica Jones' words being yelled, you're like, oh, God. Okay, last one. Family friendliness.
Oh, I lose. I get my ass.
Oh, no. Now we're going to switch. If there's no way you're losing. You're not losing that point because I have to argue this one because this is ridiculous.
Okay. So Brady Bunch, how can you say it's not family friendly? We have every episode has some kind of message that goes out. Whether it be don't worry so much about your looks. You got to be friends with everybody. Don't hit your sister. Don't throw a football at your sister. It's okay that you broke your nose. Whatever. And there's always like a you see moment where Mike and Carol explain why you need to do this. So it almost raised people's kids for them. I mean, how can you say that's not family friendly? Do the parenting for you, right there.
The Brady Bunch is essentially the Barbie of television shows. It showed kids, if their family didn't work like this, there's something wrong with you, kid. Something wrong with your family because you're not getting along. Look at this mixed family. And by the way, what the hell happened to the other parents? Did they die? I think one of them did. They get divorced. So this is like some kind of broken families that are meeting together. That wasn't normal then. And it gave people the idea that, hey, you know what? If something gets difficult, just break up with your significant other. You'll find another one. They'll match up the kids. And again, kids watching at home.
You're saying Brady Bunch glorified divorce and separation.
I'm saying it glorified second chances being good. Okay? Because that shit is not always true. So it gave divorced men hopes. That shouldn't have happened. Gave widowers and widows this hope that they would find their Mr. or Mrs. Brady. They would actually be able to have this idea of kids getting along. If you've ever seen like families trying to join together, it's a struggle. It's not just going to be something as simple as Tiger messing up the wedding cake and everything's all silly and everyone's having fun and, oh, gee, kids, that's too bad. None of these kids resented the other parent. Very strange. They're like, you're not my dad. You're not my mom. That's bullshit. That's not family. That's such a load of garbage being poured into the minds of an adult or child. That's
We're not saying whether it makes sense or whether it instills anything. We're saying more family friendly, meaning you can watch it with your family.
what. Hey, listen, I can watch Jessica Jones with my family. It just requires a conversation. Jessica Jones is a conversation starter. Like, Dad, what does that mean? Why are they without clothing? What is
are
happening?
they doing?
Here? Yes.
Are they fighting?
It's having conversations. Now, arguably, some of those conversations you should have at some point.
Yes, but not when they're 5.
No, we're not talking when they're 5. So the question is, when does a family start? Now we're talking about all kinds of...
Well, family friendly means family, and family could be anywhere from age, 0 to age, 40, 50, 60. Grandparents could be seeing this thing.
No, see, the thing is, you're predicating the idea that the Brady Bunch, because it doesn't use swear words and it doesn't use, it doesn't have sexuality in it very much, that it's family friendly. What I'm saying is, it's not family friendly. It's family dangerous. It's not even close. You can watch it with your family. Sure, you can sit there. You can all watch it together. But you could also sit there and drink bleach together. It doesn't mean it's a good idea. It can be done. But Jessica Jones is more compact. It does show the difficulty of dealing with your own special abilities, the dangers of alcoholism, the dangers of breaking stuff, quite honestly, the dangers of being in relationships, falling into things, believing in yourself. There are a lot of moral lessons there. If you thought you couldn't do something, you couldn't break free of somebody controlling you, I mean, literally, that's what this show is about. It's about a woman who's being controlled by a man. It's not just some kind of metaphor in this case. They're literally saying this guy's got mind control. That's a real issue with real people. Now, maybe it might be a little bit more of a mature family discussion. Maybe it's not for children. That's not a family. A family could have, a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old. And that's why Jessica Jones is a better family-friendly show than the Brady Bunch. I dropped the mic, but it's on a table.
Good job.
Wow, that was crazy. I'm like, I didn't know I hated the Brady Bunch that much.
Good job.
That is some bullshit, isn't it?
Well done.
Wow, okay, so I think a final score, we've been tallying. We've gotten our papers from the accountants. Let me check. This is a checkbook. Nope. Okay. By a score of 330 to 5,002, it's a tie. Gotta fire these accountants. It's not how numbers work. But okay. So there you go. If you want to choose one, choose both.
Yep.
But Jessica Jones is on Netflix now. Any parting words for the audience?
Both Brady Bunch and Jessica Jones is good entertainment.
I say stick to Jessica Jones. It's a better show.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't watch it with the 5-year-old.
No. At least let them get to their teens.
Yeah. So there you go. This episode available at killingtime.tv. And there should be an audio feed, a video feed. There's a Patreon, patreon.com/Iyaz right now. Probably will change it to just Killing Time, so it just goes to this show, because should do it by shows. I didn't think of that when I was starting this, so why not? Follow Rob on Twitter. He doesn't write anything.
Ever.
What's your Twitter account?
I don't even remember. Arbor Jay-Z.
I would like if you have I don't even remember. I'm at Iyaz, so I write stuff there. And we'll see everybody when you Skype in.